I am Jeffrey Villard in a Khwarezm campaign from version 2.3.2 of Broken Crescent, a mod for medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms. The Mongols have laid siege on every settlement that they could reach. Last time they besieged Bukhara. This time we will watch a siege of a stone fort that they besieged, a stone fort on the way to the highlands of Afghanistan. So you may remember we have defeated them in Bukhara.
No!
The prisoners have been executed. Nonetheless, the Mongols maintain their siege of Bukhara.
It is an honor to defend your walls against this siege, Sultan.
And here's that stone fort blocking the way to the highlands of Afghanistan. That was the Mongol army, and this is army at the bottom, mostly light units. We have some catapults.
Nothing this day except death.
We also have a unit of Tajik swordsmen, a very heavy unit. Blood began to flow from the sword like rain from the clouds.
Pray we can seduce fortune back to our side.
Do not worry, my friends. So this is a stone fort. Our commander is with a unit of half-cataphractic lancers. We have catapults guarding the gate. Our men are rearranging themselves. The Mongols are on the far side. One good thing about stone forts, the best thing about them, is that they are indestructible. You cannot destroy the walls or the towers. This particular stone fort only has a few points that can be accessed with ladders and siege towers. One is on the left here and one is at the back. So the Mongols are sending forward their catapults to hit our walls. They don't know that our walls are indestructible. The siege engine does not know that. And these stone forts originally came with the Crusades expansion, and you may have noticed it is not possible to do a siege with these stone forts in the Crusades expansion. There is an issue with the engine, the Medieval 2 engine, so that you cannot actually besiege these forts in a custom battle. Not only that, they actually create issues because of incompatibility with what's in the engine and what's in the actual script of the game. And so for this reason, you may have noticed that sieges in Broken Crescent often crash if you try to do a custom siege. It has something to do with these stone forts, and so if you want to play a custom siege in Broken Crescent, you have first to select the stone fort or a fort and then select another settlement. Selecting a fort in custom battles will actually only give you a wooden palisade, it will not give you the stone fort. It's not possible to play with the stone fort in custom battles, but you do have to select first a fort and then a different settlement in order to play a siege in a custom battle. And this cannot be resolved. I think this is what I've realized after a long search. There's nothing we can do about this. No other mod that has stone forts can do sieges of stone forts in custom battles. So the only chance is to see sieges of stone forts in a campaign. And I'm probably one of the very few YouTubers who've posted YouTube videos of sieges of stone forts. So here one of the catapults has caught fire. In fact, I think both the catapults caught fire from the flaming arrows we're shooting at them. And so 2 of the enemy catapults will burn. The other 2 keep shooting at our walls. They're wasting their time. The walls are indestructible. Very few YouTubers actually do battles from campaigns, and those they do very rarely have shown, I think never have shown, battles of stone forts. So what is going on here? The Mongols have a vast army, a very large army, 2,500 men, and while their catapults are shooting at our walls, they are using their siege furniture as a kind of barricade to protect themselves. So the 2 catapults have burned. The Mongols are left with another 2 catapults. And while they're shooting with their catapults, we're shooting back. Of course, they're also shooting at us, but we're behind the walls. We are causing casualties. They're causing casualties to us. But their casualties are probably slightly higher. On the other hand, there are twice as many Mongols as the garrison of the stone fort. And so these heavy Kharach infantry are shooting at us. Now they are moving over to a better position. There are some heavy guardsmen, dismounted guardsmen here. We keep shooting arrows wherever the concentration of the enemy is the most dense. And as I said before, the Mongols are using the siege rams and siege towers for protection. They are building a wall or a fort, and they place themselves behind them. They do the same with the ladders, but the ladders do not really provide any protection. And so very often the AI creates this line of siege engines, and then the infantry hides behind them. So this thing will go on for a while. While this exchange of fire is going on, I would like to thank everyone for subscribing. There are nearly 500 subscribers now to my channel. That's an amazing number. It's probably also the record of the fewest subscribers for the longest running YouTube channel, but it's a very limited interest channel. The other thing that I realized is that the average age of subscribers is about 20 years old, a little bit over 20 years old. So that's a good age. That's university age people. So that's flattering. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video clips and find out something about the various mods of Medieval 2 Total War. So there's a face-off. As you can see, the Mongols have a vast army. They have a lot of cavalry and tons of infantry as well. So they have plenty of archers. Here some light Khwarezm. They are shooting at us from a great distance. And the rest of the infantry keep rearranging the siege engines. Whenever you fire at units, then they try to move away. And the result is that the entire army then starts rearranging. That actually helps a little bit because while the unit is moving, it takes fewer casualties. On the other hand, they get tired by moving around like this. So it reduces the casualties but tires the units. So if they decide to engage us and try and storm the walls, then they will be a little bit tired. That will be to our advantage. So the catapults keep shooting at our tower there. They cannot damage it. The towers do shoot arrows. However, they don't shoot as many arrows as they do in vanilla. At least that's how they are configured. I haven't measured the rate of arrows, but they are configured to shoot fewer arrows than they do in vanilla. As you know, we'll be bringing back the Stone Force to version 2.4 of Broken Crescent in my forthcoming submod. I'm working on resolving a couple more bugs. I have a working version already, but I want to resolve a couple more bugs. I haven't modded all the things I wanted to mod, but it's a playable version. It doesn't remove anything from the 2.4 version. It only adds things to it and resolves a few minor bugs, adds various portraits, fine-tunes a few things. I like to think it's not a step backward in any direction because it does not remove anything. I haven't even done anything like deleting a line. I have added lines, I have added things, I have replaced some portraits, that is true. But I have never removed anything, and I'm fairly sure you will agree that the portraits I have added are an improvement. The siege engines have been rearranged one more time. The catapults keep hitting at our walls. Some of the infantry that was hanging about here has moved back. That was a good decision by the AI. Some of the units that were here have gone into loose formation. At least now they're going into loose formation. And our archers on the walls keep firing. There's concentration of units here. They are the units that are nearest to the walls of the stone fort. So here are our units on the walls. The Mongols have expanded all the stones that they had, and so now they're shooting flaming shots, and they're moving towards our walls. They are going to storm the walls. Here are some javelin men. And they saw that there are some units approaching the walls, so they start firing at the walls. Fortunately, there are siege towers and walls in the way, so they're not hitting anyone. I wasn't paying attention, so I have now given them orders to start shooting at this unit. It's a unit of Mongol heavy guardsmen.
The enemy have ladders at the walls. Repel the invaders. Send them back whence they came.
They are pushing a siege ram towards the gate, but the siege ram has caught fire. In the meantime, you can see on the right, the Mongols have put some ladders on the walls, and they're going up the walls. The catapults are shooting enough shots at a unit of Tajik swordsmen we have up on that wall, but of course we have a tower at the front, so they cannot shoot it. Here we have some Kshatriya, Shumro Kshatriya javelinmen. They are throwing javelins at a unit that's pushing a ram here at the wall. The catapults very often bug out, and as they try to shoot, they shoot one catapult shoots the other catapult. That's very unfortunate. Here the unit of the other catapult battery, the crew of the other catapult battery are pushing this ram. Those other two catapults have been destroyed, and so they picked up this ram. Very good move by the AI, and they're pushing the ram towards the gate. On the right, on that wall, one unit of Mongols have reached the top of the wall, are onto the walls now, and they are being confronted by our Tajik swordsmen. Here at the front, that ram's being pushed. Here are the Tajik swordsmen. They are fighting a unit of heavy Karachu infantry. The Tajik swordsmen are by far the better unit, and so they're definitely going to defeat the Mongols here.
Ill news! Our thrice cursed foes are attacking our gates with rams!
So the ram had reached the gate. He also saw there's a siege tower going around. There is a vulnerable place on the walls at the back of the stone fort, so they're going to try and put that siege ram there and attack us from the rear. Here these archers shooting at the siege tower, so I order them to pay attention to the units in front of them. So they turn around, shooting at the units here. The Mongol units down here have mostly gone into loose formation. They're shooting at this unit, which at the moment is not in loose formation. I don't think so. They are heavy Mongol guardsmen. They are a very good unit. This is heavy infantry. And they are within range, surprisingly enough. We have some Karakitai archers on the top of the walls. It's a very rare unit. You get one unit of these at the beginning of the campaign, and you don't get any more. It's not possible to retrain it. So it's some kind of vassal unit or something. And that's it. You don't get to retrain that unit. It's the only unit you have. And I have them here in the stone fort. They have a very long range, and so they're shooting at the Mongols. The Karakitai were a Mongol tribe, and so they are similar in skill to the Mongols. And they are an official faction, a playable faction in Broken Crescent 2.4, but this is Broken Crescent 2.3.2, so you cannot play the Karakitai here. So the vast and very impressive Mongol army. The Mongol archers are now shooting at us. They have formed a shooting circle. The catapults keep missing. They shoot each other instead of shooting at the walls. The second siege ram burnt out. However, the siege tower is now approaching the back of our stone fort. There is a place here that is vulnerable where the siege tower can be docked. And so I had not realized that. I had not realized there was a vulnerable place here. And so I'm hurrying now to bring some units over. So I'm bringing now some units over. So there are these archers here. I am not sure if they've shot at this point their arrows. They might have not. And I'm also bringing up some Pashtun Lascar types, so medium melee infantry. So the Mongols have reached the wall. They're now about to dock the siege tower onto the wall. There we go.
Our cunning foe has reached our walls with their siege tower. See to it they find only death here.
So there is a unit of Pashtun Lascar underneath. And they have to hurry up to get onto the walls. Here these archers are shooting at the Mongols as they are coming out of the siege tower. And now I'm going to give a command to the Pashtuns to go up on the walls. Instead of going up on the walls, they get a heart attack. And about a dozen of them just fell down dead. I don't understand this. That's what happened. And the rest of them have gone up on the walls. They are now engaged with the Karachu heavy infantry. For some reason they changed their mind. They're going back down. They left just this one guy who's killed one of the Mongols. We are shooting flaming arrows, however, at them. Now this poor guy has been slain. We also have activated the towers, and so that's a good thing. And the towers are shooting into them. Our archers from a distance are shooting into them. Our Pashtun Lascar unit has made it back up onto the wall. Now, two Pashtuns have double teamed one of the Mongols. It's been triple teamed. More and more Pashtuns are coming up onto the wall. We kill that Mongol. The horse keeps shooting arrows. Our archers from the distance keep shooting flaming arrows. The Mongols are quite clearly losing this battle. The heavy Karachu infantry is a similar unit as the Pashtun Lashkar. In fact, they may be even a little bit better, but they're outnumbered, and they are at a disadvantage because they're being shot from the towers and by the archers on the walls. So now the Pashtuns are up on the walls in numbers. The Mongols are clearly losing. We've also brought these Sumruk Kshatriya mercenaries from the land of Sindh. I'm not sure if they are mercenaries or if they are militia from the land of Sindh, but they are a very good unit. They've used up all their javelins. Nonetheless, they are also good swordsmen, and now the Mongols are double teamed here. In the meantime, the Mongols have sent practically all their infantry, for some reason, to the back of the stone fort. Here you see quite a few Mongols here, and then more Mongols queuing up to get up that ladder inside the siege tower. Now, this the situation with the siege tower is not that great. It affords some protection. On the other hand, if it collapses, it kills all those inside. And it only has one ladder. And so you only get a few men up on the walls at a time. And right now, the walls are full of our men. So every time one of the Mongols jumps off the siege tower, off the little door of the siege tower, he lands among our men and gets instantly slain. Not only that, but these guys that are now jumping off, they are Karachu huntsmen. They have no armor, and so they are at a great disadvantage. Our Pashtuns have some basic sort of lamella breastplate. The Kshatriya, however, they have heavy armor. They have both lamella and chainmail, or one or the other. They are better armored in any case. Our units have shields. The Karachu huntsmen don't have shields. All they have is a leather overcoat to protect them. That's not much. They don't even have helmets. So more Mongols are coming down. Now and then a guardsman comes down, dismounted guardsman. The guardsmen, you see one here coming. The guardsmen are very good, and they're also armed with maces. But the rest of the Mongol infantry is not really that great. And the Mongols are being massacred here. They must also be very tired, because you remember they were moving about all the time. In the beginning they were moving around the various siege equipment and trying to take cover behind them. So they must have been tired already. Then they were being tired because we were shooting at them, and they were trying to rearrange their lines. And then finally they had to walk around Stone Fort to get to the back. So almost certainly they are very tired by now. And so we have an advantage over them. Now eventually our men will also get tired, but that can be replaced because in the meantime other units have been rested. Whereas the Mongols are all trying to get up the ladder, so they're all getting tired. I find it a little bit awkward that so many units in Broken Crescent don't have neck guards or arm guards or anything like that. They just have a breastplate. It doesn't work like that. I'm fairly sure in real armies they would have covered the entire body. And there's hardly a point of covering the top of your head and leaving your face and neck exposed. It's much easier to injure someone's neck than to break someone's head, so it's much more crucial to protect your face and neck than to protect your head. Anyway. So the fighting continues unabated. The death toll is rising on both sides. Definitely, however, we have the upper hand here. The Khwarezm, as soon as they land onto the walls, they get instantly slain. Well, not instantly, but they don't last very long. And I think this is an ideal situation for us, to have a circle or a semicircle around our enemy, because that maximizes the numbers of men from our side engaging the enemy units. And we have some archers here. They could shoot at the enemy if they break through, like they've done here. Now they've managed to break through. But I think I have removed one of the units at this point. I have removed both units, in fact, and brought in the Tajik swordsmen. So you see now the Pashtuns that were on the left have been removed, or they have been sidelined, and now the Tajik swordsmen have come up. The Tajik swordsmen by now have rested, so they are completely fresh. And they are the best infantry unit in the battle, so they have a huge advantage now over the Mongols. We still have some Shumra Kshatriya swordsmen here on the other side, and the Mongols have made a little bit of progress, but at a huge cost, and they are being shot at by our archers. A couple of Mongols here are trying to go somewhere else. They don't want to stay in that death trap here. And there's just about a minute left, so we've won this battle, a very unique battle. I am so happy whenever I get to fight a battle in a stone fort, because these sorts of battles are always very hard and exciting, and they are very rare. You very rarely get to fight a battle in a stone fort. So the Mongols have lost this battle. There's just half a minute left. Looks some of the Mongols have are routing or want to rout but cannot. They have been broken, the ones at the far end.
Hour of judgment has come, and victory, only by the smallest measure, is ours.
So that was a draw, I guess, but so there you see, we lost about a third of their army. The Mongols also lost about a third of their army, a little bit over a third, close to half. So some of our units did extremely well, especially the Tajik urban militia. You see, they killed 100. The Afghan bowmen killed 100. That's very good. The Kshatriya, Sumar Kshatriya, did also very well. Captain Bazin has been victorious. The wall was brought down and the fort was torn by the sword, but that was not this fort.
Long live the warriors of Islam!
We have a new general married to one of our princesses. Kingdom of Jerusalem likes the Mongols, so they're upset with us because we defeated them. So Kutluk has gained some trade, and that was the end of this siege, a very interesting siege. Thank you for watching.